everyone. Welcome back to Susan Dawn Spiritual Connections. Welcome to a brand new Sacred Union energy update. We have a full moon in Leo that is coming up this week, and I feel like it's a pretty powerful one. It feels like, remember we've been talking about like endings and beginnings happening all at once, happening simultaneously. I feel like this full moon is actually setting the stage for things to come. We've also been channeling that it feels like we're in a little bit of a hermit mode and like a hibernation mode, and I feel like there's going to be some monumental shifts. We've been having an internal process with this energy over the past several months. This internal shifting, this internal transforming. You might be aware of it in that you might be doing some shadow work or inner child healing, or as things come up, you may be looking at triggers and saying, okay, where can I look within myself and say, where's the wound? Because the trigger is really the wound, and the wound is where the light gets in, right? The wound is just where you need to give yourself more love. The shadow is where you give yourself more love. It's how you integrate back into that light, into that love, because you are all of it. You are everything. And so you might be conscious of some of this healing, and some of it might be unconscious, because there's a lot that's happening energetically, a lot that's happening behind the scenes. There is a lot of movement energetically with this, as well as far as things happening in dream state. You might be getting upgrades, you might be getting activations. Your intuition might be calling you in different places than you might have imagined. So there's a big integration that's happening right now. You might be conscious of it, you might be unconscious of it. Just allow the energy to flow and go where you're led. If you're being led to rest, it could be that your body is catching up to the movement of the energy and how the energy is shifting. If you're called to be more active, then allow yourself to be active, but then take some time to yourself for maybe reflection or for rest, for some kind of integration with that energy as well. So there's an internal process that's happening, and we were channeling that it feels like mid-February is what they keep bringing me. It feels like mid-February there's going to be some kind of it feels like a rebirth, like a coming out of the cocoon, a coming out of the chrysalis. They were bringing it to me as like a sunburst of energy. So that could be energy as far as more motivation, more energy, more active energy, or this could be just something really just felt within your internal experience or within your physical world. There could be some changes that you're experiencing that kind of gets the ball rolling. There could be some kind of new beginning. There could be, some changes in your life, and it's like a first step and the ball gets moving. But I keep getting mid-February. So let's see. We're going to do something a little bit different today. We're going to look at this full moon in Leo, and I want to get some energy for this full moon cosmic support that's coming in before we get into the divine masculine, divine feminine energies. Now remember, as you are taking these readings, to look at the divine masculine and the divine feminine in a couple of different ways. Look at it for your own inner masculine and inner feminine. Look at it for your counterpart connection to understand, have more compassion, or understand what they might be experiencing at this time, to hold space for that. Or you can take it for the global collective, because there is a huge shift that is happening with divine masculine and divine feminines globally as well. I did just complete and post the 2024 year ahead reading. There is a powerful channeling in the beginning of that, and then we get into a full spread reading for the year of 2024, this upcoming year. So you can check that full channeling and reading out on Susan Dawn Spiritual Connections. And we talk a little bit about masculine feminine energy in the channeling preceding the reading. So make sure that you're checking that out if you are so called to. Always take these readings as it resonates for you. Disregard it if it doesn't. It just might mean that maybe you're not on this path, or you're not part of this collective, or that it doesn't have to resonate for you. Okay, so we have you and your loved ones are safe. Let's get more of this energy for this full moon. There's a sense of security that's coming in here. Believe in the impossible. And an anchoring in, I'm also hearing. An anchoring in of your sacred self and anchoring in. I'm also hearing an anchoring in of your masculine energy within you, safety, security, support, but those things held within the self. Not seeking outside for another, but seeking this or understanding this within the self, that you are supported, that you are secure, that you are, I'm also hearing the word confident. There's this energy that's coming in, and it feels like very masculine energy that is anchoring in here. And I'm feeling it in the lower three chakras, especially that root chakra, really grounding this energy. I'll talk a bit more about this in a second. Let's get one more card for this full moon in Leo energy. What do we have for this full moon in Leo? I'm going to take this card here, show the world the real you. The energy is gaining momentum and surrender to the divine. Okay, so this is what is happening with this full moon. Again, it feels very active. The full moon in Leo is fire energy, and fire energy is movement, it's action, it's an active energy. It's also, they're showing me the Ace of Wands, the fire energy is also two things. Number one, it burns away and purifies anything that is no longer serving your highest good. It might have served some purpose in the past. Everything serves a purpose, right? Everything is interconnected. Everything is energy. So what you might have experienced, or relationships you might have had, dynamics you might have experienced, situations, circumstances, what else? Jobs, careers, ideas that you might have had. Everything serves a purpose for previous versions of you. But as you continue to grow and as you continue to evolve, well, so does the energy shift. So does your physical life transform. And you have to allow for that transformation. So there's a real purifying energy that comes from this. But there's also this energy of ideas, this energy of awakening, this energy of newness that's coming through. And what are ideas? Ideas is something new. And that's what this feels like. It feels like something new is right on the horizon. And I know we get that all the time, but this feels like it is prominent. This feels like it is here. This feels like the energy that we were feeling, again, anchoring in. That's this energy of the masculine. The masculine energy really anchors in. I'm going to read you guys something. I hope I still have it on my phone. I saw something, I can't even remember where it was, but I saved it because it felt powerful. Okay, here it is. So I'm not taking credit for this. This is an amazing way of understanding the divine masculine and divine feminine energies, or the masculine and the feminine energies. But we're calling it divine because the divine masculine and the divine feminine is the conscious masculine and feminine energies, the healed, sacred, masculine and feminine energies, and that's what we're doing along our ascension journey. So this person, somebody on TikTok, it looks like, is where I got it from. They said the feminine is steering the wheel, determining the direction. She is the heart, the desire, the dream. The masculine is the gas pedal, determining the speed. He is action, passion, and determination. Without a steering wheel, we will drive aimlessly, never getting to where we actually want to go. Without a gas pedal, we will be stuck with a dream that we cannot ever bring into reality because we cannot take action to get there. I thought that was absolutely a brilliant way to put it. So it's the whole, right? It operates in one, as one. You can't have one without the other. And we talked a little bit about that in the 2024 year ahead channeling. And I shared the metaphor or the analogy of the waterfall. The waterfall in nature is the epitome of masculine and feminine energy. The feminine energy is the water that flows, and the masculine energy is the embankment, the ground. And it navigates, or it shows the divine feminine where to go, or the water where to go. And it's also the container, that structure, that presence, that consistency, that groundedness. Without the banks of the river, the water will just flood, right? So same goes for masculine and feminine energies. So I really loved this analogy with regards to the car, because that's how the feminine really leads energetically, but the masculine leads in the physical. So it's a really beautiful energy, a beautiful metaphor and example And that's what this energy feels like. This energy feels like we're really grounding the energy within us. And that's where it feels like there is momentum that's picking up. That's where it feels like there is action. That's where it feels like there is activity. That's where it feels like forward momentum. And again, you can apply that for your own inner masculine, you can apply that to connection, or you can apply that to the global perspective as a whole. There's this energy, again, coming through of security, safety, confidence, comfort. And for the feminine energy, I feel like this is grounding your own inner masculine, where you feel safe, where you feel secure, where you feel confident in yourself, where you feel very present within yourself, where you feel safe to express the fullness of who you are without fear of suppression, without fear of belittlement or ridicule or any of those repressive or suppressive energies that feminine energies has experienced for centuries. If this is for you masculines, then like if you are a core masculine, then this is allowing your feminine energy within you to feel confident, safe, comforted, to feel secure, to express yourself. So again, take it as it resonates, whether you are a male or a female, whether you are masculine or feminine, it's both the masculine and the feminine energies within you. So if you're a core feminine, this is your inner masculine that is anchoring in, that is grounding, so you can allow yourself and feel safe to express the fullness of who you are, the fullness of your expression. And that's what feminine energy is all about. And you guys can't see me, but I'm just like my arms are wide open here, because that's what feminine energy is. It is open, it is expressive. For core masculines, those who resonate with the core masculine energy, then this is allowing yourself to feel comfortable to express yourself. And for males specifically, you have also been suppressed with the way that you communicate, with emotions, the way that you express yourselves in healthy ways. That has also been, it's the feminine energy. That's just what it is. It's the feminine energy as a whole that has been suppressed. And we see that play out when it comes to male and females on this planet. But whether you're a male or a female, whether you consider yourself a core masculine or a core feminine, it's the feminine energy as a whole that has been suppressed. And as the feminine energy has been suppressed, so too has the conscious, healed, sacred, divine masculine. The more that the feminine energy is honored, respected, cherished, seen, the more the conscious masculine is able to rise and feel safe to rise, because the conscious masculine is, again, integrity, dignity, presence, consistency, directness. It's that King Arthur energy, respected, not because they claim respect from a controlling or power-filled way. It's a natural power that exists within them. It's a natural light that shines within them, that just exudes that demand for respect. So it's not control, it's not corruption, it's not force, it's not aggression, it's not violence, it's not what was the other word that I was getting, like that corrupt kind of power struggle that we have seen for centuries in this lifetime, or for centuries in this paradigm. It is a new conscious rising of what is masculine energy. Masculine energy is strong, it is courageous, it is fierce in an authoritative way, but not authoritative over others, it's self-authoritative. It is the Emperor energy, and that energy is truly rising on this planet. And it rises in tandem with the feminine. You can't have one without the other. There has to be a healing of the inner feminine, an honoring of the inner feminine, in order for that true masculine energy to rise. And so we've been channeling that for many years now, but I feel like there is some movement with this. There is some actual physical movement we might be seeing with this. Also getting that there might be some dismantling that happens we're looking at the global picture right now, is what I'm seeing. Globally, there might be some more of a dismantling. The contrast is what it is. It's seeing what is not divine masculine in order to understand what is divine masculine, what is unconscious in order to see what is conscious, what is unhealed or wounded in order to see what is healed. And again, feminine energy has done this as well, so we're not negating the feminine. She has her own healing. She has her own healing within her own inner masculine. But the more that the feminine is able to embrace her sacredness, the more that she's able to acknowledge what's in her unconsciousness, the more that she's able to shift her patterns, the more this energy comes to the forefront. And it's a powerful unifying force. It happens together. So believe in the impossible and show the real world the real you. We have the full moon in Aquarius. It is Aquarius season. And we had the Pluto moving into Aquarius transit as well, which is going to last for the next 20 years. And we talked about that in the 2024 year ahead reading. So I feel like this Sacred Union energy update, I really wanted this to just be a Sacred Union energy update, but this is on the heels. All these channelings kind of build upon each other. All these teachings build upon each other. So I feel like that is a powerful channeling and reading, and it is showcasing the shift that is happening, and Sacred Unions are at the forefront of that, because with Sacred Unions, that is one path of ascension. It is a powerful path of ascension, they're saying, because Sacred Unions are bringing to light what was hidden, especially within the self, where you are working with a partner or working with another energy in order to accelerate your growth, accelerate your evolution, accelerate your healing, the remembrance of your sacred self. And that means a powerful shift for the planet. So especially for these twin flame dynamics, divine counterparts, sacred partners, whatever it is that you feel comfortable calling it, it is working with another to grow together, to heal together, to shift in consciousness together. And that's essentially what you're doing on this journey, is you are growing, evolving, healing, coming home to yourselves, and understanding what unconditional love is. And the more you come into that energy of love and unconditional love, the more you come into that union of the energies, both within yourself and even with your partner, the more that has a powerful ripple effect. They once brought it to me as like a supernova, as a powerful ripple effect on the collective consciousness. So I'm not going to go deep into that. You can feel free to check out previous channelings and previous teachings for more on that. I encourage you, if you resonate with that, if you resonate with Twin Flame, Sacred Union, Path of Ascension, to check out the deeper dives over on Susan Dawn Ascension Connections, my sister channel. There is a playlist here where you can have access to all those channelings very easily. But that's what this feels like. It feels like there is a shift, and believe in the impossible. Hold that vision. That's the feminine energy of trusting your intuition, trusting that vision, seeing that bigger picture. And then there's the anchoring in of the masculine energy, and you see how it works together. You see how it works in tandem to manifest. So the feminine energy has that dream, has that vision, and the masculine energy is the one that puts it into physical form. It's almost like they brought it to me as an analogy of if you're building a house. The feminine energy might have the blueprints for the house, and the masculine is the one that builds it or begins to put it into physical form. So that's the grounding of the masculine energy. Otherwise, it's just very flighty, right? Otherwise, nothing happens. There has to be some kind of active energy. And you can see that with your own inner masculine and inner feminine in your life, in the action steps that you take, in maybe building a business or your career, or even in how you connect and relate with other people. You have a core masculine or a core feminine in which you feel most comfortable, but you do operate within both, in the balance and the harmonization of both. And the more that you come into harmony and balance within yourself, the more that's experienced in your dynamics and in your connections and relationships with other people, with situations, with circumstances, the more you see your physical reality change to reflect that harmony, to reflect that balance, and to reflect that peace. So show the world the real you. Allow yourself to be who you are in the fullness, the full expression of who you are. because who you are is beautiful. And I'm hearing, don't you forget it. Don't you forget it. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Okay, so we're going to get into, I'm going to use the other Moonology deck just to lay a foundation for the reading, for the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. So let's see what's going on for the Masculine and the Feminine at this time. I'm going to bring it down a little bit to these connections, to these sacred unions. But remember, this is a path of ascension. Ascension is what it's about. It's not just about your connection, although your connection plays a huge part. Your connection not only is a catalyst for your inner growth, but your connection is also part of you. So take these readings with regards to your greater ascension, and I do encourage you guys to make sure that you're checking out all of the ascension energy updates and readings and channelings that we do, because it'll just bring it one layer deeper for you, for that understanding. Okay, so let's see what's going on for the Divine Masculine. What's the current energy for the Divine Masculine? We have talk less, feel more. Oh, that's interesting. There might be a little bit of a pullback for the Divine Masculine. A little bit of a hermit energy, a little bit of a hibernation energy that they might be going back into. I'm hearing like a withdrawal. It doesn't feel like they are withdrawing completely, but it just feels like they might be going back into like a little bit of a cocoon in order to allow themselves the safety and the comfort to feel. That's what this feels like. You remember how a couple of weeks ago, months ago, I don't remember, we were talking about how the Divine Feminine feels like she's in this like cosmic egg, where she feels safe, she feels protected to allow for more growth, for more healing to take place, where she was going through a major transformation within herself. I'll try to see if I can find a link to those readings. But we talked about that cosmic egg energy for the Divine Feminine. Holding space for herself, holding space for others as this transformation was taking place. I feel like that's where the Divine Masculine is right now. I'm seeing this cocoon, I'm seeing this like egg, this cosmic egg of protection. This Divine Masculine is extremely, extremely supported. I don't feel they even are aware of how supported they are cosmically, as universally. They are extremely protected and extremely supported. And I feel like this energy going into the cosmic egg, going into the cosmic cocoon is what I'll call it, is for them to really get in touch with their inner self, for them to get in touch with their emotions. It's interesting, a visual that I'm getting. I'm seeing them in this egg. And what I'm seeing is they're like stripped down, like bare naked. And it's almost like they're in this fetal position. Now, it's not that they're a child. I'm seeing like a grown person here, but it feels very natural. It feels very organic. And it's almost like they're giving birth to a new version of themselves. And so there's this rawness that's there as well. And so it's almost like what they're showing me is like a baby or an infant. No, not an infant, a baby in like the mother's womb. And you know how there's like all these like fluids and stuff around that's helping to support the baby. It's that kind of energy, only this masculine is grown. They are, and the stuff that's around them are their emotions. It feels like they're just like swimming in their emotions, swimming in their feelings, but it's not overwhelming to them. That's the support that's coming in from the universe. It's not overwhelming to them. They're allowing themselves to feel in the safety and the security of this cosmic support, of this cosmic cocoon. And it might have been overwhelming to them in the past, their emotions, their feelings, but now it's like they're getting some time to take their time to understand it. It's almost like what I'm seeing is swimming in the depths of themselves, but rather than feeling submerged and overwhelmed and suffocated, it's like there's a sense of liberation that's coming through finally able to feel their feelings, finally able to understand how it is that they're feeling, finally able to even begin to express those feelings. There's this energy, and not expressing to other people. I feel like right now they're expressing those feelings to themselves. How is it that they are feeling, and feeling safe in which to do so? For some of you who might be in connection with a counterpart, who, if you're feminine, you're in connection with your divine masculine, for example, you might be expressing, or they might be expressing this to you. If you're a masculine, you might be expressing this to your feminine, because your relationship, your connection is a container itself. That might be just for a select few of you who are in communication, who are in contact. But I do feel like there's even more beneath the surface than what is being expressed. And I feel like it's because they're beginning to understand themselves, to learn about themselves, in the realm of their emotions, and feeling safe to get to know their emotions. They're now showing me, what's the movie? Inside Out? No, Inside Out? Is that the movie with the emotions? Whatever the movie with the emotions is, it's really cute. There's the emotion of joy and sadness and anger and all this stuff, and it's like it's all the whole. All those emotions serve a purpose. All those emotions are part of you. It's not about denying any emotion that you're feeling, but about integrating all of that as part of you and loving all of it as part of you. It all makes up the whole. And that's what this feels like. Not denying any aspect of themselves anymore, but getting to know themselves through those feelings. And it feels like there's this rebirth that's about to happen. And it feels very raw. It feels very vulnerable. And it does feel uncomfortable. But it feels like that's what happens as you're going through a birth, right? As you're going through a rebirth. It's an old part of yourself that you're shedding in order to be born into the new. And there is a rawness, there is a realness, there is a vulnerability that comes with that. But this feels extremely loving. This feels extremely safe. This feels extremely, like this divine masculine is being comforted by the universe. They might even be feeling your love, divine feminines, and feel comforted by your love. So powerful visuals and powerful energies coming through for the divine masculine here. Interesting. Okay, so let's see what's going on for the divine feminines. Current energy for the divine feminines. Current energy for the divine feminines. What's going on for the divine feminines, please? I'm seeing lots of active energy here. I saw step up and lead. I saw go wild. So lots of active energy for the divine feminines. Or divine feminines, you might have been in a similar kind of cocoon in the past, but now it feels like you have kind of broken free from that, and it's almost like now it's the masculine's turn. And that'll happen in these connections too, right? It's almost like sometimes the roles will reverse. Sometimes it'll be, one and then the other, taking turns in a way. Okay, yeah, see, action. Take inspired action, make time for self-love. So I feel like there's some movement here for you, divine feminines. I feel like you might still be experiencing that internal process. You might still be in like a little bit of a hibernation and a hermit mode. But I feel like you're at like the tail end of it. I feel like you're starting to come out of it, where you might feel a little bit more motivated. You might feel a little bit more active rather than just kind of, pulling the covers over your head, resting, sleeping, doing a lot of inactive energies that you might have gone through the past couple of months. So this feels like taking that step forward as well. It feels like that forward movement is going to start building that momentum. And again, I'm feeling something in February. I don't know what that is. It feels like the middle of February. Some kind of big shift that is happening. We're going to channel more on that. I'm going to try to focus on that energy in its own channeling in the weeks to come, in the days to come. February's almost here, my goodness. But I do want to understand what that is, so we'll kind of see what that might be. But we're also going to let it unfold and kind of see what happens. So that's our surrender, right? Just kind of letting life unfold right now. But we'll see if we can get some more energy on that too. Make time for self-love. So yeah, I feel like this is where you are really beginning to honor yourself, really respect yourself, really cherish yourself, and I'm also hearing like cherish your time and cherish your energy. And so with this forward movement, it's like you're no longer available for that which doesn't fill you up. You're no longer available for that which doesn't feel good to you. You're no longer available for that which is the opposite of that energy of love. You're no longer abandoning yourself. You're no longer betraying your own energy or betraying yourself. Especially for divine feminines. Divine feminines have been historically in a very people-pleasing energy, over-giving, over-sacrificing the self. And my friend put it in a really great way. She said, I feel like I'm always having to be consciously aware of where I'm over-giving. And I was like, that is 100% correct. Like I feel that way all the time, where I'm having to consciously be aware of my energy output, where that energy is going, and does it feel like it is wounded, still in the wounded state, or does it feel like this is something that really energetically is what I want to be doing? Or am I just doing it just to sacrifice for other people? Am I doing it just to please other people? Am I doing it out of a force of habit? So it's really a conscious awareness. And when you are aware of the pattern, then you're able to make new choices and shift the energy for yourself. And so I feel like, Divine Feminines, you are really stepping forward into new active energy. When I say active energy, I mean you're making steps for yourself, you are manifesting, you might be having changes in your physical life, or it doesn't have to be so big, like location changes or job changes or relationship changes. It could be subtle ways. You could be changing your wardrobe, you could be cutting your hair, you could be cleaning your house. It could be like little subtle changes, but little changes make way for the big changes, right? Little things matter too. I'm a big believer in the power and magic of simple moments. It's not just the big moments that create our lives. It's the simple moments, the smaller moments, the quiet moments that really add up. And that's this energy here. It's like the steps that we're taking. So trust your guidance, and make sure that you are making choices or taking those steps from a place of love. And I feel like that's exactly where you are. So what's going on for the union energies between the two? What's going on for the union energies between the two? I'm going to take these. It says, breathe through the tension, attune to the divine, speak your world into being. So I feel like there is something that is manifesting energetically into the physical reality. And again, we talked about that. That's the feminine energy holding that space, the feminine energy having that wider perspective, having that blueprint, and the masculine energy that is grounding it into the physical world. And remember, you're never separate from your counterpart. You're always doing this energetically together. It's not like, oh, the feminine's over here doing this and the masculine's doing this. Like, on the highest level, you're one. As one soul, you're doing this together. It might look like you're separate, but that's only separation consciousness that is persisting in your experience, in your perspective. You're constantly doing this together. And the more that you grow along your ascension journey, the more you become conscious of that. So I feel like there is a big shift that is coming in. I feel like you are both creating something here. You might not be aware of it. If we're bringing this down to the 3D of two physical people as a masculine and a feminine, then you might not be aware of this. But energetically, I feel like you are creating something together. You are building something together. I'm seeing like a weaving that's happening. And it almost feels, I'm seeing like a needle and a thread. It almost feels like a healing and a mending that is happening. And that's what this breathe through the tension feels like. This attune to the divine is tuning into the heart space where that love exists, where that love always exists, where there is no separation. Because separation is just a disconnect from yourself. It's a disconnect from the universe. It's a disconnect from God. Separation is an illusion because you are always connected. And the more that you consciously begin to understand that, the more you recognize, oh, I might feel disconnected, but I'm really not. So rather than going deeper into those ascension teachings, again, we have all of that here on the channels. This is about you tuning in to the higher heart, where that connection and that love always exists. It always exists within you. Union is always part of you. You're always in union. You're already in union. That's what you begin to really anchor in and understand here. That it's always held within the heart. That it's always part of you. That your counterpart is always part of you. That the masculine and feminine energy is always part of you. And if this is about another person, a physical connection, then that's always held within the heart space as well. So it's not about looking outside of yourself at the lack or the scarcity or the separation. It's about tuning into the heart and feeling, understanding, and being aware of the connection that is always held there. And I like that word held, because it's such a beautiful way of saying that that's where the love is. The love is held. You are held. You are always held in that sacredness, in that love. But there does feel like there is something that is manifesting. So I feel like there is an energetic component that is happening. You could feel this perhaps in the 5D. And it does feel like it's giving birth to something in the physical reality. It might look different for everybody. So don't affix to expectations. Don't affix to specific outcomes. Just allow the energy to flow and allow the love to persist rather than the idea of separation. Okay, let's get a little bit deeper. Where are we on time? Okay, let's get a little bit deeper. I'm gonna use this deck here and see what's going on for the masculine and the feminine. What's going on for the masculine when it comes to this connection? What's going on for the masculine when it comes to this connection, please? What's going on for the masculine when it comes to this? There it is, that Four of Swords energy, that sacred bubble, that cocoon, that cosmic egg, going deep within. There's some. I don't want to call it healing, but that's what it is. It's a nurturance. It's a supportive energy. It's a cosmic egg of support, cosmic egg of love, cosmic egg of healing. There's a rebirth that is happening right now, and I feel like this person has really gone within. I feel like they're going to merge with a new sense of self, a new sense of clarity, understanding. This is that enlightenment energy we've been picking up on for the past several weeks, past several months. This is that enlightenment energy. But the old has to fall away for the new to come through. And there it is. That is exactly it. That's exactly it. That sunburst that we were talking about. That sunburst of potential energy and forward movement. That rebirth energy. And I like that it's the rose here, because that rose is that sacredness. The rose is also that feminine energy. It's very much connected to Mother Mary, Lady Nada, and Mary Magdalene. It's that sacredness energy. And I like that we have the two children here, because this is reminiscent of the Six of Cups energy as well. So this recognition of the connection, this recognition of the sacredness of this connection, the importance of this connection, the love of this connection. It's that Six of Cups is an energy of past life soulmates. And And not even just soulmates. Soulmates, twin flames, those are just labels to help us understand the connection. For those of you who are on this journey, you know what this connection is because you feel it within your heart. You've always felt it within your heart. Yesterday, I think it was, I was having breakfast, and all of a sudden I am hearing in my mind a poem from Alfred Lord Tennyson. Um, and I had talked about it previously. We did a channeling on it previously. I think it's called The Higher Heart Opening, because I had to look it up because I'm like, oh, we've channeled this before. And it's a poem that I had once posted on my Facebook way back in like 2012, 2013. And it was calling to me then. And it was something along the lines, oh, let me get it. Just give me a second. I hate referencing something and not having it available for you guys. So the poem goes like this, and I had adjusted it because it's Alfred Lord Tennyson talking about a female, so I'd adjusted it because this is what I was feeling. I was feeling this energy, and it says, "He is coming, my life, my fate. The red rose cries, he's near, and the white rose weeps, he's late. The larkspur listens, I hear, and the lily whispers, I wait." And so he or she, you can adjust it as you feel called. But that's the poem that I had posted a long time ago, 2012, 2013, something like that. And it just felt like there was something coming, and I was holding space for it. And that's what this energy feels like here. It feels like there is a resurgence of that energy, resurgence of that knowing. But this is interesting because it's coming up, it's showing up in the masculine energy. So I feel like the masculine energy might be feeling this too. And it's almost like what I'm hearing is they're answering the call. They're answering the call of their heart now, and that's part of why they're in this cosmic cocoon. That's why they're experiencing these emotions, getting to know themselves in their emotional state. Not denying that, not criticizing that, but holding space for their own emotions, holding space for their heart, because they're opening up their heart. They're having these heart expansions. And the ego might want to fight that or resist that. But the soul is always stronger. And the soul is what guides the heart to open. And so I feel like there's this resurgence that's happening within the divine masculine now that is just this bursting forth of happiness, a realization of happiness, a realization of love. I feel like this is what they're giving birth to. They're giving birth to that sun energy. I feel like there's something else. What else is it on the other end of that? What else is that we need to know? What were we talking about in the beginning? That wands energy, that fire energy, the ace of wands. The Ace of Wands, again, is a new beginning, but it could be new ideas, a new level of awakening. It could be action. It is action. The Wands energy is active. It's exactly what we were channeling in the beginning. It is active. So it almost feels like a progression. It feels like this healing energy, getting to know their emotions, allowing themselves to feel their emotions without judgment, without criticism, without avoidance, allowing themselves to feel in the full throttle of those emotions because they're in a place within themselves, maybe even a place physically, but in a place within themselves at the very least where they know that they're supported, they know that they're loved from you, Divine Feminine, from God's source, from the universe, all being, connected within themselves. Also recognizing that love within themselves, the love that they have for themselves. And this is not egoic love. This is soul love, getting in touch with their soul. And as they get in touch with their soul, they're getting in touch with their emotions and allowing themselves to feel. Again, there might be a little bit of resistance. There might be some discomfort with that. There might be some emotions that come up that feel a little bit tricky and heavy. But again, those triggers are where you give yourself more love. Those triggers are where you acknowledge what needs to be healed, and it's healed through love. So I feel like there is this rebirth that is happening. They're kind of sitting in that rebirth right now, but I feel like what's to come is this resurgence of themselves, this rebirth of themselves, having had to strip away, and that's where they're feeling a little bit of discomfort, that rawness, that vulnerability. But the more that they allow themselves to be in that discomfort, the more that they allow themselves to acknowledge that rawness and that vulnerability and not resist it, the easier it's going to become because they are safe. They are safe and secure to feel this energy now. So I feel like, because that's an old paradigm is what they're saying. It's an old paradigm that you are not safe to feel your emotions. It is not safe to express yourself. It is not safe to feel the fullness of who you are, to feel the love. It's not safe. That's the ego, right? And that's what's being stripped away now. That it's not safe to love, that it's not safe to be loved. That's what's stripping away. And all the components around love. Anywhere where you felt shame, anywhere where you felt guilt, it's being healed through love. And love is kindness, compassion. It is non-judgment. It is patience. So when we're speaking of love, we're talking about all the components of what love entails. So there's this resurgence, this rebirth. And I feel like because of that rebirth within the self, there's this rebirth that's happening within the connection, and possibly even how they're seeing the divine feminine, and it's leading to this active energy. Now, when we're talking about active energy and forward movement, this could be for the connection, or this could be for their own life. But remember, it's kind of twofold. It's layered, right? As you take action for yourself, you're taking action for the connection. As you're taking action for the connection, you're also taking action for yourself. Like it's not one or the other. That's a black and white thinking that we're transcending out of. Everything is interconnected. Everything is energy. And so as they're finding more stability within themselves, or as they're taking steps in their own life, as they're guided to take, then they are also creating movement and energetic movement within the connection. As they're having ideas, new enlightenment, new understanding, that's also benefiting the connection. You guys are doing this at the highest level together. You are one. And again, it's a separation energy, a disconnect that makes you a false illusion that makes you feel like you're not. So really beginning to anchor this in here. It's really beautiful energy for the divine masculine. This feels very sovereign. It feels liberating. This energy feels liberating. The sun feels liberating. It's like, now I can be my true self. Now I can really be who I've always wanted to be. Now I can let the fullness of who I am shine. And divine feminines, you've always seen that in the divine masculine. But it takes the divine masculine being able to see that for themselves as well. And I feel like that's where this Ace of Wands just feels so powerful. Like, that feels like divine masculine energy. It feels active. It feels like strength. It feels like courage. It feels like, I've got this now, is what I'm hearing, is the phrase that I'm hearing. I've got this now. I've got this. And it's really powerful and beautiful. Okay, and how is the divine feminine feeling with regards to the divine masculine? How is the divine feminine feeling with regards to the divine masculine? I'm going to take that one too. We have the Page of Cups. We have the Seven of Cups. How is the divine feminine feeling about the divine masculine? We have the Seven of Pentacles, two sevens, indicating that life path, like on the right path, that kind of energy is what I'm getting here. We have, and so for those who resonate with 17, with regards to your connection, perhaps, for me, if I see 17, like, it's like, number one, I know I'm on the right path, but also it feels like there's some kind of communication that's either coming directly or indirectly. Like, it'll be like some kind of feeling that I'm getting where I feel connected to my masculine, or there's actually, like, within the next couple of days, I'm going to be receiving some kind of communication or seeing him. That's happened throughout the course of my journey. Anytime I would see 17, I'd be like, oh, okay. Number one, I know that I'm on the right path, but also that there's going to be some kind of communication coming in. So I'm getting almost like a 1 number with the Page of Cups. So 17 might be indicative to you of your connection, but also that you are where you're meant to be. You're where you're meant to be. You have this far trusted your intuition. Look at what's on the bottom of the deck they just pointed me to. The Four of Wands here. That 1111, speaking of numbers. So you have thus far trusted your intuition. You have allowed yourself to trust yourself. You have allowed your heart to be open. You have allowed your heart to guide you on this journey. And sometimes it might feel like you are getting knocked down for it. But that's only making you stronger. That's only making you learn that you don't need that outside validation, that you can trust and believe in yourself. Especially with the Seven of Cups, it almost feels like there are so many distractions. There are so many different ways that energy seems to be pulling you. And I feel like this is you just kind of deciding for yourself, which direction do I want to go? What direction feels right for me? I'm going to pause here for a minute and talk directly to you, Divine Feminines, as a Divine Feminine who has gone through this journey herself. And when I say gone through this journey, I mean that I'm still going through this journey. I'm still going through this evolution. You know, these channelings, this whole channel has been the story of my own experience, as well as it's been helpful for you guys. It's been helpful for me as well, because I learn just as much through these readings as you guys share that you do with me. This journey is very challenging for us Divine Feminines, because there are so many people who will try to discredit us and what we're feeling intuitively. There are so many people who will try to bring us down. I have had experiences in the past where people that I had met along this journey, that I had considered, friends, because I'm so trusting of people and I want to believe the best in people naturally. I've had people say to me that I trusted, no, that person's not your counterpart, no, that person's not your twin, this person's your twin, or that person's your twin, or, and I just said, no, that doesn't feel right to me. That doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel true. And I took that as an opportunity to say, okay, you know what? I'm just going to trust myself here. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm humble enough to say, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Because it's never been about, is he or is he not my twin? I've always just seen the soul of him, the heart of him, the person that he is. And that's what I fell in love with. That's what I loved. It was just him. I didn't care about the journey. I didn't care about the label. It was just him. And so there's always going to be, because you trusting yourself, Divine Feminines, means you're shining your light. You in that confidence, and I don't mean confidence like ego confidence, I mean you trusting yourself, you believing in yourself, is you shining your light. And people who are not there yet are not going to understand it. And especially people who are not on this journey are not going to understand it. And that's why, you keep your circle small. That's why we have this community, because it's a very difficult and challenging journey. And we're here to support each other through it. And there are people I have, a group of friends who are not on this journey, who do not understand, much of anything that I share. I still love them for them. They still love me for me, because we still see, the soul of each other. We still love each other. But I can't talk to them about this. I have my soul sisters. I have this community who I do share with, because that's what helps us understand that we're not alone on this journey. But that's where you have to have that discernment. That's where you have to see, okay, what feels right to me, what feels true to me. That's where you have to really be able to distinguish. It's not about separating yourself. It's about understanding where you'll be supported, and going in that direction where you'll be supported. So I feel like Divine Feminines, especially on this journey, there are a lot of attacks. There are a lot of there's a lot of spiritual warfare. I'll just call it what it is. It's a lot of spiritual warfare, because what you're doing, and Divine Masculine too, I'm not leaving the Divine Masculine out of this, but I'm talking to the Divine Feminines now. Number one, because that's where we're focused, and number two, because Divine Feminines, you've really been challenged to trust yourself and honor yourself, especially when it comes to these connections, especially when it comes to your sacred union journey and everything that you've learned from it. You've really been, man, it has been very hard for you. Not that it hasn't been hard for the divine masculine, it's been hard for the divine masculine in a different way. Divine feminines, like this journey, there is a real spiritual warfare that's going on because you are evolving. And part of that evolution means trusting in yourself and believing in yourself and not letting doubt plant a seed in you and not letting that seed grow and fester and poison what you know in your heart. Not letting that fear and that doubt overcome and overtake the love that you are, the love that you know is true. You've come a very long way. If you're here and you're resonating with these readings, you've come a very long way along your journey. You have gone into the shadows. You have gone into the depths. You have walked through, crawled through your own healing. You have acknowledged those triggers. You have brought light to those shadows. You have gone through rebirth after rebirth after rebirth after rebirth to discover more of who you are. And again, there's the spiritual warfare that kind of goes on where people who are not on this journey, for example, who maybe not have these connections or who haven't gone through the healing, will not understand that. Like I said, I've experienced that time over time over time. Having a public channel, like this is me expressing myself in a public way. And over the many, many years of my writing, before I even was on this journey, every time I hit publish on a piece of writing where I was raw and vulnerable, I was afraid. And learning to overcome that fear and speak up and speak my truth was something that I have had to learn time and time and time again. And expressing myself, especially in this context, is extremely scary because there are people who will not understand it. But that's where you have to trust and honor yourself and trust and honor where you've been, knowing what your experience has been, and trust and honor where you're going. And trust and honor what it is that you feel within yourself. This Seven of Cups just feels like so many distractions trying to pull us away from our truth, from believing in ourselves, from honoring what we feel within. It's not about digging in when you're feeling opposition. It's about saying, okay, what is this actually trying to show me? Is it showing me that I need to speak up? Is it showing me that I need to believe in myself? Is it showing me that I need to trust my intuition? What is it actually trying to show you? Again, I've had many instances where there have been people that are like, this isn't your twin, or this isn't your journey, or whatever it is that they were saying. And, there are times when those seeds of doubt had been planted, where I had to really sit with myself. And these were people that I didn't know very well. And so it's almost like, why am I giving credit to people that I don't know very well? Why am I letting people that have just come into my experience for a minute make me feel this doubt about myself? It's about really taking those opportunities and saying, what is it that I believe? I didn't mean to get off on that tangent, but this Seven of Cups energy just speaks really strongly of, again, that spiritual warfare. I mean, and let me put it into context again. These sacred unions are so incredibly powerful because it is unconditional love. It is absolutely unconditional love. And these sacred unions, this sacred union path of ascension, teaches you how to come home to yourself. It teaches you about yourself, and it teaches you more about the world, about the universe, than you ever thought possible. And it has you see things from different perspectives. And there are energies that want to keep us limited. There are energies that want to keep us small because maybe we're easier to control that way. Or maybe they're comfortable. Those energies or people are comfortable in that kind of setting. But that's where this journey is expansive. Your mind opens, your heart opens, and it opens to love. You're countering the separation energy. You're countering old beliefs. You're creating a new paradigm. a new way of living. You're bringing that Christ consciousness into physical being, into physical embodiment. That's what that leadership by example is all about. Your kindness, your compassion, your love, you're putting that into practice in deeper and deeper layers and deeper levels. And this world, this paradigm is not used to it. That's what this journey is bringing us to. A new paradigm of love. And so that's where you've had to learn how to trust in yourself and trust in your path and trust in your journey, and just allow yourself to keep opening and cracking yourself open, seeing where are those beliefs, maybe where are they still poking at those old beliefs, and where can you still continue to shift, where are you still transforming, where are you still evolving, where are you going deeper. I feel like this energy here is asking you to continue to hold that faith, believe in the impossible, hold that vision, keep tuned into the heart space, hold that vision for what it is that you are manifesting. New ways of loving, consciously loving, new ways of connecting, consciously connecting, new ways of being, consciously being. That's the vision that you're holding. There's so much, especially in the twin flame community, there is so much distraction. There is so much limiting mindsets. Keep expanding, keep growing, because you're planting those new seeds here. You're planting those seeds for this new way of being, for this new way of loving, for this new way of connecting, for this new way of being. So, okay, bringing this back to how are you feeling about the connection? I feel like there's a newness that is here. And I feel like because you are trusting in yourself, believing in yourself, you're allowing for a new energy to take hold within you. You might have closed the door on an old ending, on the past, and that's where you're bringing love into the situation with this new beginning. The Seven of Pentacles also feels a bit of like patience and holding space. Let me just get a couple more cards here. Yeah. Allowing for the transformation to take place. Letting it unfold. Allowing for that transformation to take place. In the bottom of the deck, we have the Ten of Cups. Allowing for the transformation to take place. Allowing for that Ten of Cups to come through. This Ten of Cups is like that new earth energy. This is what you're creating here. And I'm speaking for the Divine Feminines, but you don't create that without the Divine Masculine. And when I say the Divine Masculine, I mean your inner masculine. This could be a counterpart connection, but it's the energy of union. It's the energy of oneness. It's the energy together. So take that as it resonates for you here. All right, let's just get a card of guidance here. What does the Divine Masculine... let's see these cards. What does the Divine Masculine want the Divine Feminine to know? What does the Divine Masculine want the Divine Feminine to know, please? What's the Divine Feminine? Or, yeah, let's do Masculine to Feminine. What's the Divine Masculine want the Feminine to know? We have passion, but rather than like passion as in like sexuality, I feel like this is passion as in a burst of energy, a burst of love that is being felt. I'm always with you is what I'm hearing. I'm always with you. Always together because we're better together. Even if you see how this energy is like stardust, it's like even just in energy, I'm always with you. That's where you begin to anchor in that union. You anchor it into the heart space. Always with you. Wow, it's a burst of energy. It's a burst of love that's coming through. Divine Feminine, how are you feeling about the Divine Masculine? Or what do you want the Divine Masculine to know? Divine Feminine, what do you want the Divine Masculine to know? Healing. I feel like this is, you see how there are scars on the heart? It's like this is healing. It's like coming into wholeness. It's like she's answering it and saying, I know. I understand that now. I know. And there's an opportunity for I'm just hearing the chains, the links in the chains to be resolved. The kinks, no, that's what it is. The kinks in the chains to be resolved. So if there was anything that needed mending or anything that needed healing within the connection that was preventing love, it's working consciously together to bring that to fruition. Oh my gosh, and look at the bottom of the deck. You have that soul connection there. I'm always with you. There's a real energy of oneness that's coming through here. You might have anchored this into yourself. You might be seeing this in your connection with your partner. But the most important thing is that you're feeling this within your own heart space. All right, we're going to end here. I'm not sure when we'll be back, but I'm sending you all so much love and so much light.